everybody, this is Marie and welcome to Marie's Chatty Tarot. Today we are going to talk about Joe Biden no longer seeking out re-election. I know, a little overdue. However, I wanted to find out why. I mean, not why particularly, but who, right? So before we get started, for those interested, I am going to be using today the Robin Hood Tarot deck. Is from do not know, but it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Llewellyn is the publisher. Pretty cool deck. You might. I'm sure you're gonna enjoy it if you are into collecting decks of cards. So I know this news is a little bit long. It's already circulating out there for about what, maybe a week and a half now, that Joe sent a letter after disappearing and uh, posted a letter online on Twitter that he was no longer seeking re-election. Signature is looking a little sketchy, question mark over there. And if you watch, what's his name, Benny Johnson video about Joe Biden's signature or about that news, he demonstrated that there were several Joe Bidens, different signatures, about 9 or 10 of them. And I thought, interesting, because I do want to point you guys back to the video that I did about a year and a half ago, uh, February 2003, about the White House Joe Biden. And when I was doing that reading at that time, it said that uh, the reading said that there were about 9 actors playing the role, and they were being rotated on any given time because that job was so stressful they cannot do it for a long period of time. And I thought that was so interesting. It was that number that Benny Johnson mentioned. Well, he mentioned 10. I'm thinking the 10th signature is probably done by an aide, but so close, over the ballpark, I believe. I thought it was so worth mentioning. And so I think in that video I've mentioned that, or I think I take note of that, the Joe Biden that was doing the campaign against Trump was not the real Joe. Since then, that's when I started noticing that Joe was not Joe. But as I'm as I was prepping for this video, I was trying to look, when was the last Joe seen? And I'm going as far back as 2010. That Joe is not even there. Original Joe seems to have been swapped at one point. It looks like the Joe of 2008 was probably the last time real Joe was real Joe, that accepted the VP and became Obama's, sidekick. And afterwards, it was so hard to find an original Joe from any of the stock pictures. So it looked like Joe has been shifted at one point in time, but I've noticed in 2018 when the election was happening. Now, I mean the campaign, no, 18, no, 16, no, when was Trump? I think I've noticed on, yeah, 16-ish, 16, 17, 18. I really paid attention. Um, so anywho, moving on. So Joe is out. Kamala is in. Now, I remember when I was doing that video about Joe last year, I've mentioned that the only way this game is gonna be over is if Joe is out of the picture. Because if they have all those different Joes, somebody's willing to play the game. Somebody wants the game to continue to the bitter end, whoever that was. Now, I did not look and see who was playing I don't remember. You probably have to look at that video. But it seems like whoever was playing that game, even if you try to take out one of the Joes, it's going to be other Joes taking over. So it was imperative that Joe stays in power. But now somebody decided that Joe is no longer needed, that Joe needs to be replaced. So today I want to find out who, right? Who is behind the Joes to drop the game? Because I think my conclusion when I was reading the card was that, okay, Joe needs to go and the media needs to be exposed. So the media now, Joe is gone. The media is being exposed to some degree that they had a big thing to do with covering Joe's crimes and whatnot and whatever. Now Kamala is in. Somebody decided that Kamala is in. Now I'm not going to talk too much about Kamala. That's a different video altogether because there's so much to unpack there. But the question is, who is behind that power move, right? That power move done in the last minute purposefully so that uh, uh, the people don't get to vote on the primary. That somebody is being selected for the Democrat people, for the Democratic Party, right? For those libs. So somebody is not, that group is not being heard. So they're being installed, right? They installed Kamala. So the question is, who is behind that power move? A lot of people believe that it's Kamala, Kamala, Obama might have something to do with it, and Hillary. A lot of people think that group um, conspired together to deliver the blow to Joe because it was a power play. Okay, it's possible, but I wonder if there's more to if the cards wants to share, wants to chat a little bit more about who is behind that power play against Joe or the character that we see that plays Joe, because we know real Joe has been no more for a very long time. Just go as far back in the photo stocks on Google as you can. You will see different version of Joe every year or every month. So, with that being said, Joe's been a puppet since day one, and the pictures can prove that to you, even if you don't believe what I have to say. Okay, cool. So, who is behind this power play? So, I'm thinking is Obama, Hillary, and company. The Rice, Susan Rice, and the whole cabal, whatever. But um, I'm hoping secretly that is the White Hats because that will tell me that we're close to the end of this game. To be honest with you. Okay, so seriously, who's behind this? So I'm going to use the Kachina spread. So 6 of Cups, first card, Justice, situation, 3 of Cups, recent past, uh, King of Pentacles, oh sorry, Knight of Pentacles, present, the Lovers, potential outcome, Emperor, clarification, and 9 of Swords, clarification. So interestingly enough, uh, we have 3 major arcana, which is the Justice, the Lovers, and the Emperor. Interesting in itself. So I asked, who is behind this power play? So the first card kind of saw the answer. It looked like you're gonna have to go back in the past because the answer is there. Usually, this card is a note. It's about sharing. It's about the kindness. It's about uh, uh, a big brother, little sister situation, being kind to one another, being kind to your little sister, looking out for your sister. But also, it's about sharing, but it's also about addressing the past in order to move on, or to be cognizant of what's going on in the present or in the future. So this tells me, answer is that you're gonna have to go back in the past. So this tells, do the research, right? It's about, so whoever's been doing this, so this feels very white hat for me, because every time that it's alluding to them, it's always this card, the Six of Cups. It's about kindness, sharing information in a way that's digestible to people. And usually, further clarification, the Emperor underneath as an aspect tells me that it's law and order. The Emperor is a very important card. Yeah, is ruled by Mars, and it's usually the alliance for me. It's as if to say that they have been controlling this board, this game, the plan, if you believe in it. If you're new here and you don't know what I'm talking about, this is where you're going to probably have to pause and go back to the past doing research. Yes, you're going to have to look into the Q post, because it's going to be important, because a lot of the nuggets are here, the roadmap. So there is a group that oppose the cabal, if you're new to the game, that's been resisting. And how? It's been through social media, the memes, uh, people doing research, finding information. It had to start from somewhere. So, anywho, I'm going to leave it at that. However, uh, so uh, so this, to answer the question, who's behind Biden exiting, is the good guys. They've been living nuggets for people to see, truth. And to be fair, a few months before the Trump J13 assassination, Trump was in the golf course, and there was an audio leak that says that, oh, Biden is gone. He already exited, or he already, what was that word? Not resigned. He's done for, something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing, but I'm sure if you're interested, you can find that footage. And I thought that was interesting in itself. And then a few months after, in July, a few weeks ago, Trump got attacked, assassinated by this gentleman who subscribed to the woke ideology. Then Biden conveniently got COVID. Then conveniently the the Cheeto, that Secret Service lady, resigned, and conveniently soon after, Biden sent that Twitter uh, uh, letter that was not even an official documentation, saying that he's bowing out, no longer seeking re-election. So all of this is, all those sequence of events has been done in a way that's a very caring matter. Now, people are new to the game, probably felt blindsided. If you're not paying attention, you will be. But for the people who have been paying attention, who has been looking at the patterns, familiar, who have been familiar with the sequence of events, the post, uh, know that it was down the pipeline. Uh, that's something to that effect. Maybe not the maybe not the resignation, the not seeking re-election for sure, but the Trump assassination was kind of known by a lot of people, that it was telegraphed by many others, Tucker Carlson. We can go on and on, but the matrix is at play. Let's just put it this way. I don't want to get too woo on this, but whoever's been making the plan happening has been leading, pushing people in a particular direction. Justice. Okay, so justice is a major arcana, and it's sharing that um, justice in the sense that, because this is situation, so I think justice is going to come in the forefront, meaning that justice can be about communication as well. It could be about choice. It could be about uh, uh, balance. It could be about sharing. But in this situation, you're gonna be seeing for yourself when the DNC does their primary for yourself. You know the craziness, because right under this card is the nine of swords. Nine of swords is about guilt. It's about depression. It's about worry. For the first time, people who ascribe to that party, it's going to be shown for the world their uh, tyrannical practices, because justice is about, you know, putting out there a verdict. Everybody's going to come to a verdict, right, about what's going on. And a lot of people who have, drank the Kool-Aid, stayed in that plantation, um, uh, who called people names, who were pretty nasty with friends, family, whatever, you know, they're gonna really, really feel it. We're gonna really feel like, oh shoot, we messed up. They really, it's gonna come out. Let's just put it that way. So who is behind it? It was the good guys. You want to call them, well, they're gray from my area. You're gonna have to see the video that I did about the White Hats, the Alliance. Very interesting video. That video was surprisingly taken down on YouTube, but it says a lot about them. You can find it on my other platform. But so yeah, the good guys are behind what's going on with Joe, the Alliance, uh, and they're exposing them as we speak, how their practices is not on the up and up, and whoever ascribed to that party or still holding out, they're gonna be feeling guilty. They're gonna feel pretty worried, and they're gonna really feel the burn, the pain, right? Because they're like, oh shoot, maybe I am not in the right side of history this time around. They're really gonna feel it, with that DNC, or as we speak right now, the truth is coming out. Truckload of info. Okay, three of cups in the background is telling me that people are coming together. Um, on an emotional, spiritual level. A lot of people are Trinity, is and starting a new shift, new energy, because three is about going on an adventure, going on. So for the first time, people are coming together. It's like, oh wow, not much separate us. We still want the same thing. We want our kids to be happy and healthy. We want to be able to have good school, good food, good housing. People are coming together on an emotional level, and they're not being blind, allowing the division about race, about this and that. So, the most part, people are coming together, and uh, present time, a lot of people are really paying attention. The Knight of Pentacle is a very cautious card, very slow, slow in the term of cautious, taking his time, really analyzing. It's moving at a very slow pace so that it's taking in information. This pentacle is real, it's evidence, it's irrefutable, it's not virtual bull, it's the real shit. So people are really paying attention. That is a force that's pushing the narrative. The Lover's card is about communication, it's about uh, sharing. So it's being done in a very loving way. That's interesting. It's communicating. Again, emphasizing on those two cards of communication, being kind, lover. So whoever is doing this is doing it in a way that is not creating scars for the people who are still holding out, who are still asleep. It's still providing pressure, but the way it's being done is still in a very loving way. Um, it's exposing the truth. So, hey, there you have it. I'm going to put two more cards. So yeah, so it's so as so the White House, the Alliance, whoever you want to call them, the good guys, the resistance, whatever, they're the one behind Joe leaving because this actor has already exited the stage. And so as the truth is coming out, maybe not about the actor, not that part, about the dealings, the practices of the party, of the leftists, of the globalists, whatever you want to call it, it's gonna, you know, people are gonna get worried. People are gonna get concerned, and it's gonna create a lot of conflict for the people that are still holding out, that still want, you know, uh, to ascribe to the party. But at the same time, it's really forcing people to really pay attention, to really look at, on emotional level. It's going to create a lot of worry for the people who are holding out, a lot of guilt, and also to force people to reflect because this is a card of reflection. Woohoo! This is interesting. So I'm happy to hear that we are in a pretty good timeline. Okay, so advice for the people who are coming out of the slumber because now more than ever, a lot of people are starting to realize that you know uh, the leftists have lost their mind and they're going way over the hill, you know, way left to the point that they're destroying their own party, right? And a lot of people are just like, nah, this is no more, right? So advice for people who have come out of their slumber. So this is not for us. But if you're new to this channel and you stumble or you just find out that there's that the leftists were not in the right or that they've lied, what advice for newcomers, people who have emerged out of the matrix? So let's see what the cards wants to share there. Well, this is interesting. Um, what? Okay, so cool. This is so cool. This is so the sun card, first card is like a welcome that you've seen the light, you know, with that page of pentacle underneath to say that, it's as if to welcome, you've seen the light, by finally paying attention. That's what came across because this is hilarious. And, to be cautious in your pursuit. Take your time digesting the information, doing research, not be in a rush to accept everything that says. And the advice, build your character, build yourself up, build your knowing, mentally, spiritually, all of that good stuff mentally. And it looks like for a long time coming, you have sense now. If you're new, fresh out of the plantation, let's say, uh, uh, you've known or you've slowly been coming to your sovereignty, to your autonomy, to yourself, and uh, and coming to now that five of sword can be about overpowering, but here's like overcoming the lies. Finally, it's as if you snap out of it and you come into yourself as an individual for the last few months, the last few weeks, right? And you've been, you know, overcoming the lies, using your discernment, an outcome. The advice is that you've been coming to now. I guess you probably realize that what the other people around you were trying to say um, feels like grace, like um, understanding that you may have treated others pretty badly, and use name because I know you I'm sure you know a family member that called you names, conspiracy theorists and this and that and third, and then now they're probably at that point where they're hearing what you have to say. They're no longer calling you a conspiracy theorist anymore, and they're probably kinder to you. I know my cousin, Gene, you know who you are. He has been silent for the last 6 months. He has been silent. And I know from the grapevine that he has admitted to my brother that he was wrong. Now, he's not going to do it to me because he knows how badly he treated me. But I'm sure you have a similar situation where silence or that family member might approach you, might be kinder to you, might want to have a conversation with you, maybe not about politics, but, tentatively trying to repair the relationship. So the advice is, welcome if you're new and you're out of the thing. So that new group, fresh batch of people, they're slowly coming out of the slumber and they're coming to their realization themselves. Uh, it's as if something in their mind, a light bulb, just pop in, like that sun card. So they're starting to pay attention. They're starting to realize, and I think a lot of it has to do with money. Yeah, this is about caution, but it's starting to affect people's money, and they're forced to really pay attention of what's going on. So that's interesting. Huh, okay, so we know who is behind. So I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want to make this too long. But I want to say thank you guys for. I appreciate you guys for sticking to the end of this video. I love each and every one of you. I am so grateful that you guys are with me on this journey. I apologize that I do not post as often as I should, but I'm trying to get back on the wagon. I promise you. Like you, the struggle is real because, it's crazy out there. But I'm doing my best to stay above uh, and to forge on. And I hope you are doing your best and forging on. And thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Again, feel free to share, like, and subscribe. I need the love and attention of the algorithm the good way. Because the last time I begged did not turn out so well. But I got a strike. But I hope this time around the algorithm of YouTube and Rumble is in my favor. Guys, thank you so much. I love you. Appreciate you. Bye. Next time.